Well, hey friends, and welcome to our epic New Zealand road trip. We're going to be spending the next week exploring the South Island of New Zealand, and that all starts now. We flew into Christchurch last night, and then this morning spent about an hour and a half driving here to Castle Hill. And we've only been here for a few minutes, but this place is so cool. Let's check it out. So as you can probably already tell, Castle Hill is a truly epic landscape. You're surrounded by towering mountains on every side, and then on a series of mostly bare hills, you just have these massive boulders laying out there. It truly is unlike anything that I've ever seen before, and this unique landscape has actually served as a filming site for many famous movies, including The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and The Lord of the Rings. So we just spent a couple hours on this first stop of our road trip, wandering around, climbing on rocks, pretending we were kids again, and just generally taking in the breathtaking landscape. What a spot! You know, it's crazy, you travel a lot and sometimes it feels like you've seen just so much. How can there be more to see, more to discover? Then you come across places like this where it's just so different from anything that you've ever experienced before. Stop number one of the trip. Man, if this is New Zealand, this is going to be incredible. Only about an hour's drive from Castle Hill, our second stop of the day was at Rakaia Gorge. With turquoise waters, bright yellow flowers, and a dramatic riverbed, this place really is worth a quick visit. I will say we didn't stay for long as we still had about a 2.5-hour drive ahead of us, but it was a perfect spot to get out, to stretch our legs for a bit, and to enjoy some great views. Then another hour into the trip, we were all quite hungry, so we decided to stop at Barker's food store and eatery for some lunch. And the food here was absolutely delicious, rivaled only by the staff. Georgina, who brought us our food, was the absolute sweetest. She gave us several great local recommendations for the rest of our trip. Once our food arrived, we sat down for a while to enjoy our food and drink our smoothies before continuing on with our trip. Our final destination for the night and the next few days was Lake Tekapo. We wanted to make it there before 6 p.m. And so we weren't in a rush by any stretch. We still stopped at several scenic overlooks along the way, but we still tried to get there in a bit of a timely manner so we'd have time to explore Tekapo before dark. So it's about 5 hours later now, and we just arrived here at Lake Tekapo, where we're going to be spending the next few days. This place that we're staying is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you all around. So coming in, you have this amazing dining area with seating for 8. There's also a gas fireplace, which you know we'll be using later tonight. A few different seating options throughout the living room, and I just love all the natural light coming in through the windows. But then the real star of the show here is this view. You have the mountains, the lake, and just look at that water. Wow, I just feel so lucky that we get to call this place home for the next couple of days. Right now, I think we're going to do a bit of exploring around the town and then hang out here for the rest of the evening. So our first stop in Tekapo was to grab some dinner, and given that it's a fairly small town and we were there on a Tuesday night, there weren't that many options open, but we decided on Ramen Tekapo and it ended up being delicious. And then after we finished eating, we made our way over to the iconic Church of the Good Shepherd to watch the sunset. Built in 1935, this church has become famous in recent years because of the beautiful setting that it's located in. Nestled right along the edge of Lake Tekapo, it has an incredible view of the surrounding mountains. So that night, we just spent a few hours watching and enjoying the sunset before heading to bed. Well, good morning. It is now day 2 of our trip, and we're on the road bright and early this morning because the plan for today is to hike the Hooker Valley track to get some amazing views of Mount Cook. And right now, we're about 30 minutes into an hour-and-a-half drive to get there, but first we had to stop at the scenic lookout to get these incredible views of Lake Pukaki. The water at this lake was the most incredible shade of blue that I've ever seen, and so it really was just a delight to be able to experience it from this overlook and along our drive to Mount Cook National Park. So we've just arrived at Mount Cook National Park and have started the Hooker Valley Track, which is a 6-mile there and back hike that's supposed to have some spectacular views of Mount Cook. It's a beautiful, warm, sunny day. The views are gorgeous. You can see 4 miles. This couldn't be better. How are we feeling?
Let's go. Let's go.
This is Gavin, Antonio.
What's up?
And a bush.
This ended up being a really cool hike with views throughout pretty much the entire walk. But one of my favorite parts was the suspension bridges. There are a number of them along the hike, and they really are the perfect spot to be able to enjoy some of the amazing water features from the glacially fed lakes to this powerful river.
So we've been hiking for a little while now, and I hope that when we round this corner right here, we should be treated to some pretty beautiful views of Mount Cook. But even the scenery from this view, it's just so cool. So we literally just rounded a corner. Wow. Wow, that was crazy. We were just walking. We heard this like thunder noise. It was an avalanche going off in the distance. So we've just made it to the end of the hike and we're overlooking this beautiful glacial lake with views of Mount Cook in the background. And there are literally icebergs floating on the water in this lake. There's one right there, a few right there. So cool. We're all pretty tired from our hike, so the plan is to sit down for a minute to eat some lunch.
So we were all just sitting there chatting and calmly enjoying our lunch until we saw these guys and we knew we had to get into the water.
Dude, don't do it.
It's gonna be worth it. Oh, that's cold.
My feet hurt.
Oh, that's cold.
Dude, my feet hurt so
I don't want to do this, but peer pressure is kicking in.
Oh, it's so cold.
Oh, dude.
Come on, you know you want to.
It's so cold.
Glass here.
No, no,
The big one down there.
Just swim out. Swim out there.
Yeah.
Go to the iceberg.
You can go.
Just iceberg. And our new Aussie friends over here challenge us to go in the water barefoot. Whew. It's so cold.
My guy over there was standing here for like 20 minutes.
I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. I like can't feel my feet anymore.
Oh.
Ah. Yeah. Oh, that's cold. That's so cold. Worth it, but painful.
Oh, God. I'm so weak.
We've started a trend. What a spot. Heading back to the car now. Bye, Mount Cook.
So all said and told, this hike took us about 4 to 4.5 hours, including our time for lunch at the top. This ended up being a real highlight of the trip and a really memorable time.
So I just got back from Mount Cook National Park. That was one of the coolest hikes that I've ever done in my whole life. It was so much fun. But right now we're all pretty tired, a little sunburned, a little sore. So I think what we're going to do next is to change, to get ready, to spend a few hours at Lake Tekapo Hot Springs, just spend some time chilling and relaxing. I feel like after a hike today, we earned it. Okay, day 3, we're just packing up right now, getting ready to leave Lake Tekapo. And the plan today is to explore WANAKA and end up in Queenstown. So we've got several hours of driving ahead of us, but also some fun stops along the way. I'm really looking forward to it. First though, gotta finish packing up this guy. Okay, let's go. Ready for a good day.
And on our way out of town, we stopped for one final breakfast in Tekapo. We came to the Greedy Cow and the food here was delicious. The oat milk latte I ordered was perfectly made and I could not stop raving about these pancakes. Topped with berries, caramelized banana, and so much more, these really were exquisite. After we finished eating though, we hopped in the car and made our way to our first destination of the day, the OMARAMA Clay Cliffs. If you've ever visited Bryce Canyon in the United States, that's really what they remind me of. They're just these towering, stories-high clay cliffs jutting out of the landscape. Carved as glaciers moved along the valley, they really are an impressive sight and definitely worth a stop on a road trip. And easily the coolest part is that there's actually a gap in the cliffs that you can walk through, and that leads you to a rocky path that you can walk up for an even better view. And this area at the top really is just such a perfect spot to stop, to really take a moment to appreciate how diverse and beautiful this world we live in is. Then after a bit, we hopped back in the car and continued on to our next stop. So we are slowly making our way to Wanaka, but we just made a quick stop here at the Lindis Pass Overlook. We're going to climb up, I think, this hill right here behind me to get a beautiful view of the Lindis Pass. Super windy, but this place is really cool. Okay, right now though, I think it's this hill we're going to climb up. It's kind of weird because it's like windy and cold, but also really sunny. Hard to know how to dress today. But I just threw on a jacket, some sunglasses, so hopefully it'll be good. Lindis Pass viewpoint. Let's go. It was a pretty short walk to the Overlook, but once we reached the top, we were rewarded with some incredible views of the Lindis Pass. This is one of those truly otherworldly places, and it feels like you're on a different planet. So we spent plenty of time enjoying the views before heading to Wanaka, our next stop en route to Queenstown. Wanaka is another very picturesque lakeside town, and immediately when we arrived, it had this very fun and adventurous vibe to it. So we spent a while watching all of the fun lakeside activities, visiting this little market, and generally wandering around the town. After quite a bit of driving that day though, we were feeling like a bit of a pick-me-up, so we decided to stop for some handcrafted gelato. I got the flavors blackberry and feijoa, which is a fruit that's common in New Zealand. Then after we finished our snack, we just spent some time wandering around some of the cute little shops in the town. Towards evening though, we were all getting a bit hungry, so we decided to stop at Water Bar. I ordered the lamb and it was quite tasty, but what really made this place special was the incredible view of Lake Wanaka. Eventually though, we got back on the road again and made the beautiful drive to Queenstown, which is where we'd be spending the next few days. Well, good morning from Queenstown. We got in late last night and woke up this morning to some absolutely stunning views of the surrounding mountains and the lake. And today our plan is to explore the city. Right now it's about 10 a.m. We've just been having a bit of a lazy morning, taking in the views, just enjoying the scenery here. But right now we're heading into town for some breakfast. First though, can we just have a moment of appreciation for the scenery? So beautiful. So we'll definitely be back and spend some time enjoying those views from this amazing patio right here later. But right now we're all hungry, so it's time to get some breakfast. And for breakfast, we came to a place called Yonder, which is right in the heart of Queenstown. It's a really cute little spot with some great food. I ordered my usual oat milk latte with some eggs on toast. The presentation was lovely and the food tasted great too. But then after breakfast, we made the short 15-minute drive to Deer Park on the other side of the city. So we've just come here to Deer Park, which is like a park overlooking Queenstown with all of these incredible animals. It's this beautiful wide open scenery, and the idea behind this place is you can basically just walk around, drive around, enjoy the views, see the animals. It's a really cool place, and the animals here are all so friendly.
Little piggy, you want a little nibble nibble?
Hey, little piggy. I don't think he's supposed to be out here. Oh, there he goes.
Now he does.
Now he does. Aww. We just met a few little piggies that were so cute. And these donkeys, literally, they let you touch them. You're just sitting there petting them, making friends. So cool. Going into it, we weren't exactly sure what to expect from this place, but it really ended up being a hidden gem. Between all the adorable animals and the breathtaking views, there really was something magical about this place. And for my fellow movie lovers, you might actually recognize this spot. This is actually a filming location that was used in several different scenes in The Lord of the Rings. So it was really fun getting to walk around and just to pick out some of those spots. Oh my goodness, we've been looking for like 2 hours and I just found the Highland cows, which are what I was most excited to see here. They're so cute. Hey, buddy.
Buddy.
Oh, and I'm so glad we got to see them.
See you, buddy.
So what we thought was going to be a fairly short excursion had quickly turned into a multi-hour adventure. By the time we finished, we were all ready to eat. So for lunch, we came back into town and decided to try the world-famous Ferg Burger. This is a spot I'd had so many people recommend to us, both visitors and locals, so I knew we had to try it out.
Okay, so we just stopped at Ferg Burger, which is one of those like things that you need to do when you come to Queenstown. Got a burger. This thing is massive. It's like the size of my face. Mine has venison, brie, I think cranberry and some other good things. So let's give it a try. Oh, coffee. Oh, it's so good. It's really good.
So we just sat by the side of the lake enjoying our burgers, our fries, and there were a bunch of cute birds that kept us company as well. And after our meal, we decided to cap things off with a bit of ice cream. So we came to Patagonia, which was right around the corner. I got 2 scoops, 1 coffee and cream and 1 caramel, and we just took them to their seating upstairs to enjoy. By the time we got back to our Airbnb, it was around 4 p.m. and we were all pretty worn out from the previous few days' adventures. We'd had a pretty packed schedule, and so we decided that we all just needed a bit of a break. So we just spent that afternoon and evening reading, napping, and watching the sunset.
Good morning, good morning. It is now Saturday. We're getting ready to check out of this Airbnb. Today, we're headed to Milford Sound for an overnight cruise. And the cruise is definitely one of those things that I've been looking forward to the most about this trip. Right now, I'm just trying to take in this incredible view before we leave. This place really is so special. So yeah, really going to miss this place. It has been one of the most incredible Airbnbs we've ever stayed at. Now we're on to the next adventure. Let's go!
The drive to Milford Sound can only be described as epic. Throughout our trip, something that we kept being blown away by over and over was just the sheer diversity of the landscape. In the United States, you have to drive hours and hours, if not days, to experience the diversity of landscapes that you can see in New Zealand in less than 30 minutes. So you just spent the entire drive to Milford Sound staring out the window, stopping frequently to get out and to enjoy the ever-changing landscape.
Okay, well after one of the prettiest drives of my entire life, we finally made it to Milford Sound, got our first look, and this place is so stunning. I mean, how is this place even real? So right now the plan is to find a place to park our car overnight. Supposedly there's a lot where we can do that for free. Then after that, we're gonna board the cruise, get situated.
So from the main lobby area, we just checked in quickly with Real New Zealand and boarded the Milford Mariner, our cruise ship, for the next 24 hours. Once we were on board, we were given a warm welcome and a quick safety briefing by the staff before embarking on a spectacular cruise down the Sound.
Hey, the cruise has begun. Just ran some seals. Okay, wait, this is so funny. It's so windy right now that there are 3 waterfalls that are all just blowing sideways. There's one right there, right there. So funny. I'm getting a little sprayed. Okay, just came back to the cabin for a second. I'm switching jackets. Right now we're going to do the water excursion, so I think we're going to get into a smaller boat, hopefully see some wildlife. They said we might see some dolphins, penguins if we're lucky, potentially even a whale, so really excited for that. But I think it's pretty windy, so I'm switching to my warmer jacket. Also going to leave this camera behind, switch over to my phone so it doesn't get wet. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
When I was planning our trip to Milford Sound, something I really wanted to do was to be able to experience the sound in a variety of different settings. And this excursion really helped to do just that. It was so cool just being able to get up close and personal with this Jurassic feeling landscape. And the area we were moored in was really unique too because it had an active glacier, a maritime forest, and a fjord all in one place. Something you can only find here at Milford and at Patagonia. Then the most incredible moment of this excursion happened when we spotted a Fiordland crested penguin. They're the third rarest penguin in the world, and it was so cool getting to see them in their natural habitat.
That was so cool.
And after we spotted the penguin, we headed back to pick up a few extra passengers. Christopher and I took the opportunity to switch over to kayaks. Another really fun way to explore the sound.
Okay, wow, that was so cool. I loved that. We finished up in our boat a little bit early, so our guide let us take out the kayaks. We got to really have the best of both worlds. I think normally you're supposed to do just one or the other, but getting to do both was so fun. Got to learn all of the interesting information about the glacier, the forest, the fjord, all of that, but then also just the experience of being out there on the water, just enjoying the stillness was so cool. Okay, wait, they literally just made an announcement that you can go swimming. I feel like we have to at least jump in the water and get out, right? I'm gonna do it. That sounds so crazy. Like, when else are you gonna get the chance to do this? So, time to go swimming. Okay, all changed. Well, I've got a bathing suit on under this. Time for a really cold dip in literal fjord water. That was so fun. Okay, it's probably like 30 minutes later, change back into normal clothes, getting ready for dinner. Amazing. Oh my goodness. So good.
Salmon, pickled veggies, and garlic bread.
Amazing.
And the dinner on our cruise ship was quite spectacular. Consisted of 3 courses, canapes, a buffet, dinner, and dessert. And everything really looked and tasted so good.
This looks so good. We've got some lamb, some beef, prawns, salad, all the good things here.
So we just spent a leisurely time eating and enjoying dinner before going out to watch the sunset.
Would you stay till the morning light, or would you follow me, or would you let it be if I leave tonight?
Good morning, guys. Coming at you all bundled up and with a tea. Got up a bit early this morning to watch the sunrise and to enjoy these amazing views. This place really is just unbelievable. Just a couple of my favorite things. This glacier right here, which is partially covered in cloud yesterday, is now fully visible and so pretty. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. And then over here, the silhouette of the mountains with the clouds above is just so cool. Okay, it's breakfast time now though, so going to get some food in me. And then I think we've got a 2-hour cruise down to the end of the Sound in the Tasman Sea.
So shortly after breakfast, we resumed our cruise through the Sound, and hardly 15 minutes into it, we spotted another penguin.
We saw another penguin! They're so cute.
So that was an exciting way to begin it, but honestly what I was most excited for was just being able to take in the views of the sound. It's really difficult to appreciate just how high some of these mountains are. But as our guide described to us, what you might be seeing as bushes on these mountains are in fact fully grown 60 to 90 foot tall trees, which is honestly just mind-blowing. That makes these mountains several thousand feet high. Then towards the end of our trip, we were greeted with the most fun surprise. Found some dolphins! A couple of young dolphins decided to surf in the waves of our boat for a bit, so we got to enjoy watching them jumping in the waves and playing alongside the boat. As one final parting gift, our captain decided to give us an up-close and personal experience with this giant waterfall. We definitely got a bit wet, but being able to get so close really helped you to appreciate the magnitude of what we were looking at. We really did time the cruise so perfectly. Just as we were pulling up, it started raining, which isn't surprising given that this is one of the wettest places on Earth. But it was really sweet and just cool that the rain held off until we were pretty much back. Once we were all checked out, it was time to disembark and make our way back home. So we got in the car and made the 3-hour drive back to Queenstown and flew out later that day. So that's it. That was our trip to New Zealand, and we really did make so many memories on this trip that I know that we're going to cherish forever. So I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me for this adventure. And if you're curious about any of the details, our entire itinerary will be written up for you in the description box below. Before I go, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you haven't already. It really would mean so much to me, but until next time, friends, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one.